And we're back for the third and final installment of Session 3 of Mines and Biscuits. We have been in the Stonehill Inn slash Tavern for the last few minutes as conversations have been had. Seedy, dark backgrounds have been delved into. And the cunning swindling of dwarves has occurred. And as the camera opens up, we actually see do you Tristan, do you have like fingernail polish or anything on your hands, or is it just kind of well manicured and clean, and that's what your hands look like?
Yeah, no nail polish.
Okay, so we see delicate fingers kind of going over the surface of a very like a tanned surface, and then we pan back, it's kind of round, and we see we hear like a laughing, kind of like a deep chortling. Yeah, oh hey, that's quite pleasant, thank you. And we come back and we see Oric, the loser of gold, but being provided a very fine, what do you call that,
Pat on the head.
yeah, nice little rub on the head. And Tristan, so where do you go after you've given him his concession, or his what's that called? It's not
Consolation
second,
prize.
Consolation prize, yes. After
you
his consolation prize, where do you go?
I'm just gonna start making my way to the door again.
Okay, you're not. Are you going to join with the rest of the group, or you're kind of heading out on your own?
I thought Ursula was following me, but
Oh, that's right. You're going to be heading
Yeah.
over to the temple, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Sean.
So, and then Falconian, you're heading over to the Lion's Crest. Is that right?
Yeah,
Lion's
Blind Shield, yeah.
Lion Shield. There we go. All right, and so the group kind of as you guys are heading towards the door, we see the table, and there's Sildar and Squeak is there. Falconian is not to be seen, but so I don't know, Ursula, do you give Squeak a nod and just kind of head out, or Squeak and Crud, or
Yeah, I'll give them a nod.
yeah,
I'll be
do you
headed
guys ask
our
where she's
direction.
going, or what do you? Oh, there you go, Crud. Sorry.
Yeah, I figure she was talking about the same thing that the dwarf was yelling at me about. So I figure we're headed over to the Shrine of Luck.
Okay, so you'll be heading
Yes.
over there too.
Told me to go there. I guess I'll go. There. There must be something there.
All right.
All right. Squeak waits, watches everyone walk out the door, and Squeak turns and looks at Sildar and says, "We'll get Gundren," and quietly stands up and slips out the door.
Was there anything that you wanted to ask? Because you had a little bit of time while they were throwing darts and stuff, or were you just kind of watching the events?
Oh, he was watching to see what was happening.
Nice. All right, cool. All right, so are you following the group over to the temple, or are you following over finding where Falconian went, or what's Squeak up to?
Squeak silently slips down the street and hides himself in the bushes and trees across from the sleeping giant,
Ooh, gonna scout it out.
Yep.
Okay.
and just
Smart.
sits quietly watching the doors.
So are you
To see
over on the south side, or are you heading up? Here?
Yeah, I would imagine he's sort of down on that south side.
Okay.
Across the way, but hidden, maybe behind the edge of a building.
All right. Let me make
Hidden.
sure your character is
Good hidden. Yeah, so I'll move him. Oh, did you move him already?
No, I'm making sure that he has his nameplate on there. There we go.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, well, give me a stealth then, and I'll remind you that you have inspiration for this session. You haven't. Everybody has inspiration, so you can. You get one. Like you can only
Yeah,
get
no,
one.
I think this would be a good time to use it because I mean he's no one knows he's there.
Right.
He's taken his time. He's taken the back way in, and he is being very cautious. So he'll go ahead and do that with inspiration.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, you probably didn't even need that, but that's good. But actually, you know what? The everybody here, if you don't have inspiration marked, go ahead and remark it, so that you guys will have that going forward. Because great role play has been had by all. I'm enjoying it quite a bit, and apparently Sybil is as well. Or is that Brian's?
I think
That was my cat.
That was your
Yeah,
cat.
that was
They're
that was
enjoying
Brian's
it as
cat.
well.
Locked
Okay.
in the other room.
So you find yourself. So what does it look like when you're hidden away? I mean, do you like?
So Squeak's
climb a
gonna
tree
kind
or
of come
what?
down. Yeah, Squeak I think is probably gonna scramble just up a little bit. You know, not so high that he couldn't jump down and make a quick escape.
Okay.
But a little bit up the tree, and you know, first thing he does is he checks around. He has his escape routes planned before he gets up there. He knows how to get down. I feel like he kind of, there's some dead space there behind some of these buildings. You know, he sort of knows how he would scout back to the inn if he had to get there quickly.
Smart.
And he's just sort of peering through the branches, and you know, as a halfling, someone would have to start climbing the tree to see him.
Right. No,
You
that's
know,
awesome.
how well he's hidden.
I like it. Okay, cool. All right. Let's see here. All right. So let's. Okay, so you're kind of like you're hidden there. Give me an investigation check, and while you're doing that, let's go over to Falconian. So Falconian, you're making your way up to, or over to the Lion Shield cluster. So as you're kind of making your way out, you maybe, I don't know if you ask around or if you ask the bartender or somebody, or Sildar, to find where this place is.
Well, I feel like Bartham had mentioned where they were. And then, what is it? Thistle and I don't remember the other one's name.
Thistle and Ander.
Thistle and Ander would also know. And since I have to go back up there to get the provisions, get the crates,
Right.
I can ask them while I'm up there getting the crates that are still in the cart, and then heading down.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. Let's do this. I will grab that done here. Perfect. Okay, so you make your way over to the Lion Shield cluster. It's a stone building. Actually, there's a few here. There's a few in the town where there's like that stone kind of foundation. It's modest by size, but it's got that. I don't know the style. Sorry if I should have more of an expensive knowledge to know this, but the first floor is made of that kind of like stone wall foundation, and then the rest of it is kind of like a lumber for the lumber portion on the second floor. By floor plan, though, it's maybe only about 700-800 square feet per floor, maybe a little bit less on the second floor. So as you make your way over to the trading post, there's a sign that's in the shape of a wooden shield with a blue lion painted on it. So obviously that links up with what you know of the crate and everything. So that kind of like, yeah, all right, I'm in the right place. Very cool. And as you make your way in, there's a couple of men that are there that they have those tabards that are on there. They're not really guarding the door, but they're kind of on the inside of the place. They're sitting at a table playing at a dice game, and when you walk in the front door, they both look over at you and they see that you're armed, and one of them kind of like eyes you a little bit more directly and says, "What are you here for?"
Well, come to seek out whoever's in charge.
Oh, that'll be Lenine. She's in back.
Aye.
You want to wait here? I'll go get her.
Please.
Okay. He glances at the other person that's at the table, and then he like kind of nods towards you, like, you know, keep an eye on this guy. And so he gets up, and you see that he's got a sword belt that's kind of that's looped along the back of the chair that he's sitting at. So he grabs that, and then as he's making his way back behind the service bar area, he makes his way behind there, and he's starting to strap his sword on, and he heads into the back and pushes through a curtain, and you hear a voice, you know, his voice, you know, talking, mumbling, and then you hear a woman's voice, kind of like a sharp tone, and as he comes back out, he holds the curtain open, and there's a woman that comes out, human. She's probably in her 30s or so. She's got a little bit of graying at the temples. Of her hair is kind of tied back in a real thick braid, and she's wearing she's wearing a tabard, but underneath you see that she's wearing chainmail. And she's actually got a short sword at one hip, and on the other hip she's got an axe that's at that one. And you notice the axe more because she's actually slipping it into a loop at her hip as she comes through the curtain. And she looks at you and for a long time, and just kind of, you know, she basically says nothing. She just goes up to the bar and she motions you forward and says nothing.
Hail, my name is Falconian. I was hired by Barthen or hired to bring goods to Barthen, and on the road ended up running into some bandits. In the process of dealing with those bandits, my company and I found some boxes that seemed to bear your crest on them. Come to see about their return.
Where did you say that you'll find this, Archer?
Along the road from Neverwinter to here, there was some goblins and a bugbear.
Oh, a bugbear, you say? You've put this one down?
My companions and I did, yes.
She
Spent many years hunting such creatures.
She looks over your shoulder and everything, and she spots the. I'm assuming that on your shoulder you have a place where Wedge usually will rest.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like maybe like a reinforced part of your armor so that his claws don't continually dig into your shoulder. He doesn't mean to, but hey, he goes Falcon ever so often. You never know. He looks there and he says, "You lose your bird in that?"
No, she's around.
Ah. So tell me, Archer, your friends, are they the woodland creatures that are around you?
No. There's a cleric and a bard, or cleric and a chef, and some others. I think.
Chef, you say. So what did you do for the bugbear? Did you cook him a sandwich?
Well, I cooked his ward.
She kind of like wrinkles her nose at that.
It's quite tasty.
Must be some cook. It wouldn't mind meeting him. And he like looks over your shoulder at the guy who's still sitting at the table. Could be an improvement. All right, so you've made your way here to Phandalin. You've got my goods. Where are they?
I've got him outside in the cart.
All right, and so she comes around the bar and she motions you to go out before her.
I'll go ahead and lead out.
Okay.
How many crates did we have?
There's 4 crates that are there. Okay. She as she's going out there, the guy that went to go and get her and come back forward, he makes a motion to follow her along, and she turns around and just says, "Go and get it." And he says, "Shouldn't we see it? Go and get it." And so she follows out with you and goes to the cart, and so she proceeds to, like, without even asking, she just climbs her way up onto the cart, and she pulls she pulls her hand axe and uses the bearded part kind of as a lever to open up the edges of the crates and take the lids off and start looking through some of the things. Missing one crate here.
This was all that they had still.
So she opens up the others and stuff and looks. Got my arrows. That's crying shame. All right. So you've done me a service, that's for sure. You have others in your party? How many?
I think there's 4 of us, not including myself, so 5.
5. So she's the guy who went back in, comes back out, and he has a small little chest with him, and she looks at him and puts up a signal and holds up 5 fingers. All right. So it wasn't those scurvy red brands. It was goblins, you see.
Yes.
Guess they're.
Are the red brands known to do such things?
Well, of course they are. You won't see me selling my goods to them, that's for sure.
How many of them are in town?
12. Half again as many. And she looks at you and looks back over her shoulder into the doorway, not where the first guy is, but probably the other one, and says, maybe more than a baker's dozen. She spits to the side.
18 of them.
So, they're in town, here and there. They're not always in town at once. They always have to be out doing their duties. Scum. Someday they're going to have to learn how to make an honest wage. And if I have to teach a few of them at the end of my blade, then so be it. I'll do that just fine. So she gestures back to the guy, just 5 I said, hurry up, Lou. And so he opens the crate and he rests it on the edge of the wagon. And he pulls out 5 pouches and hands them to you. And this actually feels very familiar with him, what happened with Barthen. As he hands over coins or pouches of coin. In total, you get 50 gold pieces.
Okay.
There's been need of people like you in town. You planning on staying around?
We'll be around. Might have a job or two to take out and about, but we'll be around for a little while. You wouldn't happen to know anything of... would I have known Sildor's contact's name?
Yeah, actually, yeah, for sure. You, I don't even know how to pronounce this name, to be honest. I should have just renamed him, but I was lazy. His name's Iarno. So
Iarno?
Iarno. Albrecht.
You wouldn't happen to know where Iarno is, would you?
Don't know Iarno. Was he new in town like you?
He's a companion of Sildar's. He was supposed to meet him and hasn't seen him yet. Figured I'd ask.
Well, if he's a friend of Sildar's, then he's worth looking for. I'll keep an ear out for him if I hear something. I'll let you know.
I appreciate it.
But I appreciate you not making off with my wares. And she starts putting the crate lids back down and stuff, and she looks back. Lo, what are you doing? Get that Marcus out here and help start offloading these crates. I'll throttle the both of you and I'll cook it up myself. She hops down from the wagon. Hurry up! The archer here has places to go. Unless you want me to buy your cart here.
What? Do we have any use for a cart right now? Or are we okay with selling our cart?
I mean,
You're right.
isn't the cart technically Sildar's?
Falconian's on his own.
Yeah, that's right.
I know.
The only thing you know is that one of the donkeys that's there belongs to Crud. So.
Yep, Canelo.
How much would you be willing to offer for the cart?
I'll give you 5 gold for it.
I'll keep that in mind and let you know if we're interested in selling it.
That's fair. Seeing as I guess I'm in the market for a new cart since I lost the one that was carrying these crates originally.
Understandable.
All right. So she's like, you know, given the what for to the 2 boys that are there, and they finally get the crates off the cart. And as you're getting back on and starting to, or maybe I don't know if you walked the donkeys back over, she leans over and says, "Look, get your way around town, learn the lay of the land. I've traveled with your kind before." And she's looking at your ears, and then she looks at you and she says, "No, like that. But archers, I've traveled with your kind. Keep an eye out. Stay away from the sleeping giant as long as you can."
We'll see how long that lasts.
If you
I
do
have
make
no
a
luck
visit,
with it.
let me know. I wouldn't mind seeing how it turns out.
I'll let you know if there's anything we need, or can let you know as far as that goes.
All right, Falconian. And she turns around and heads back into the trading post. So you're leading the cart away.
Yeah.
And we travel over to the temple. And it's a modest affair. I mean, there's crumbled stone, that sort of thing. There's a small plinth where they've put like a settings of like candelabras, that sort of stuff that are holding these candles that give off a blue flame. And there's a single figure that's there, that's tending to everything. And she's moving around. She's got you can tell it's a feminine figure, and she's using a cane right now to kind of move around the area that's here. But it's open. It's got like a 3 wood walls and a wood roof, and there's a small little hovel in the back part that's closed off that has a door. Maybe this is where the priestess sleeps. But the rest of the area is open to the cold. There is a small little stone fireplace to the side that helps kind of generate some heat for those who wish to come in and offer up any offerings to Timor, god of luck. So you all make your way there. So who's gonna do the first talking?
You want to talk to the priest? Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So
Y'all just set that scene.
Oh, sorry.
yeah, no worries. So the woman who's there, she sees you approaching. Are you guys approaching together, I would assume?
I think so.
Okay. So you guys are approaching, and she looks up and she pulls back the hood of her robe, and you immediately are struck by the fact that she's an elf. And it's the first elf you've seen in town, and she sees you coming over, and she kind of like studies you, the combination of a half-orc and then an armored figure, and then the frame of Tristan coming over, and I wonder if it is luck that has brought you to my doorstep.
Actually, it was a dwarf.
And on that bombshell, so a dwarf, you say? Well, there's many dwarves in town. I am Sister Garariel, and I am pleased to meet you. Fortune upon your travels. She looks around, and as she does so, the flames kind of the light from the candles flicker off of the features of her face. And normally when you see an elf, you're thinking like smooth skin and all this stuff, but you can see where she's actually been cut along the side of her cheek a few times. It might be like claw marks, or it could just be, unfortunately, like 2 or 3 drives of the dagger. I would assume that it is good fortune that you are here. Perhaps I should just ask, what brings you to Timora's doorstep?
That's a good question. I don't really know. It's something to do with the guy that we're working for and some wizards. Ursula, do you remember what we're doing?
Yes,
Awesome.
Crud, I do.
So good.
I love it.
Alright, so Gungeon Rockseeker's gone missing. We were hired to look for him.
Oh, that's terrible news. Yes, I do not talk to many dwarves. Is he the dwarf that sent you to me?
He's a dwarf. I don't know if you've met him.
Well,
Oh, it was Oric. A guy named Oric is the one who told me to come here. I don't know if and that might be unrelated.
Oric has not graced my doorstep, or I should say Timora's doorstep, ever. Him and his brothers, they do not think they need luck, but the amount that they drink, I think perhaps their livers wish that they could come and visit me. But, yes, so Gundren, he is not well? Did you say he is missing?
Missing.
Oh, this is...
Yeah. Got kidnapped by goblins.
Kidnapped by goblins, you say?
Yeah, something about it.
Oh,
Like
this is terrible. All of you are under his employ, and she looks to all three of you. Tristan, what's your reaction? How are you kind of facing this?
I'm just listening for the moment.
Okay. So you are all under Gundren's employ. Did you see him get taken?
No, we saw like his cart in the road, and then we got attacked by goblins. Then we tracked him back to their cave, found his friend, Isildur. He was in a cage, and he told us that
Gundren and Sildar were the leading party.
Yeah.
They kept Sildar there, but they took Gundren somewhere else.
I see.
Apparently he had something that they wanted. He didn't want to.
Had something to do with the mines around here.
Okay, now I'm going to interject.
Okay.
She's an elf, right?
Yes.
I'm going to speak to her in Elvish.
Nice. Okay.
So that she knows, I'm trustworthy or whatever.
I know Elvish.
Okay, well.
I don't think Crud does, though.
All the best food recipes are in Elvish.
That's what I'm going to be saying.
Very cool.
So you think it's more subtle? Okay.
What?
You think it's more subtle?
Yeah.
That's why. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. So
Well, I mean, Tristan doesn't know our languages, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
So she's going to ask. She's not going to ask. She's going to say, my companions think that their friend being taken has something to do with what happened to you on the road, and something about this orc's ring.
What? What? I didn't know how it had anything to do with it. Wait, you leave my mom out of this, okay?
She was speaking in Elvish, so I don't know if you can.
I speak Elvish. That's all the fanciest cookbooks are written in Elvish.
Oh, cool. So everybody here understands Elvish. Got it.
Yeah.
The only thing I learned.
That's so freaking awesome. I like that. But that's how you learn about your compatriots. That's very perfect. So, a ring, your mother. Wait. So, but you mentioned goblins. Did Gundren also he was attacked by a banshee?
What, a banshee?
And so, like, at that point, we cut over to Squeak, and Squeak is kind of like he's hidden out in the trees, and he's watching from his kind of nesting position, and you're You're kind of like listening to this horrendous music. I mean, it's just tearing your ears inside out. But you watch as the doors rarely stay closed. I mean, that's probably why you can hear the music so darn well. But the place is really dilapidated. It probably had a heyday at some point, but that's not today, and you're probably hoping there's no hay in there because it'll burn down pretty quick. There's a lot of rough speak in there, words that in any language I wouldn't repeat for this broadcast. But there's 3 figures that come out of the front door, and one of them is a man who's dressed in like road leathers. Like he's got kind of like it's like leather armor, but it's been stylized a little bit more to fit the traveling sort. Again, kind of evoking some of those old westerns and stuff with the black hats and everything. But he's talking rather more confidently than he should to another figure that's standing next to him that's dressed in black robes with swirls of red that are kind of like mixed along the edges and the hem. And those robes anywhere. You know that figure. And he looks sharply at the person who's talking to him and points a single finger at him, and the man falls to silence. And he says to him, you can hear it because he's, just the silence all of a sudden in the front with the 3 of them talking. He says, the 2 of you will go and they will find that cavern entrance. I don't care if the dwarf talks. He will talk to me. So go and get him, bring him here, and I will ask him the questions that filthy creature cannot. And that's where we'll cut. We'll go ahead and roll the screen. I'll go to black, and in the background we hear, like, as the screen's kind of like staying still. We've seen this before. The screen comes back up. It's dark. There's like a dank cavern floor, with mixes of dirt and filth and everything along the bottom, and then we see like a pile of bones, flesh gnawed on and that sort of thing. We hear in the distance the sound of dogs or wolves or some horrible amalgamation therein, growling and snarling at each other. And further back, we see a cage with horrible looking iron that's just, it's rusted, and it's held together with like, sinew and all this other stuff and chains, and it's just, you wouldn't even want to be near it because you figure you'd probably get tetanitis just from being close to it. But inside we see the huddled figure of a dwarf, as his eyes are determined, but they look tired. And that's where the credits start to roll, and we go to black, and we end our session. So yeah, cool, man. Nice work, everybody. It's some really good role playing. I'm having a lot of fun with these characters and trying to take the printed adventure in different directions, but still kind of using some of the materials given to me. So cool. So we'll come back with Falconian deciding on which direction he's going to go, if he's going to go back to Soldar or he's going to go to the temple, and then we'll find out information. Why the heck did the elf mention a banshee? And then is Squeak going to leap down from his tree and try and assassinate Glassstaff right there? Or is he going to have self-control and not do so? We will see next week. So everybody, thanks a lot. Huge thanks to these awesome players for putting on a fantastic show. Who knows what we'll find out. Maybe Crud is a closet harper and we never knew it. Who knows? But thanks for being here. Thanks for sticking around. We hope you've enjoyed this presentation. We will be back hopefully soon after this last episode of Session 3 releases. Will hopefully be maybe 1 or 2 weeks after that. So looking forward to what unfolds then. Until then, thank you. Keep rolling dice. Make some friends around the table. Enjoy playing games, because upon these tables, friends are made. Look at these. Who are my friends?
Aww.
Talk to you soon.